moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, good evening, everyone. This is a meeting of the Finance Committee. It is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we start, I just want to, I want to just have recognize a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, in honor of Charlie Kirk. His passing 2 weeks ago. Thank you. Okay. I hope everyone had a chance to get a look at the articles I sent out that, you know, Jamie's been revising, and we have the most up-to-date version in front of us right now. And we're gonna go through them tonight and take votes. Because Jamie, this has to get, your timeline to get this out to print is when?
I'd like to send it to printer the 8th. We advertised, we sent the advertisement for town meeting to the neighborhood news today. It'll be in the next 2 editions. And I'd like to get it to the printer by the 8th.
Which is next Wednesday.
Which is next Wednesday, because then I can get a proof back, look at it, and approve it for the run fairly quickly, and that'll take it in so we have everything by town meeting.
Okay, sounds good. All right, do you want to take us through each article?
Article 1 is payment of prior year's bills.
Yep.
A number of the legal bills, so you know, came in. Part of the bill was for services for the last fiscal year. Part of the bill was for this fiscal year. We asked the providers of various attorneys to send us the bills split properly in our fiscal year versus their quarterly billing. And other than that, we've got full-time person up in the accounting office, and she's cleaning up a lot, finding stuff, and that's part of the issue here. And then there is some services that were provided at the end of the fiscal year and billed at the beginning, in the beginning of the next fiscal year. And when those came in, we have to treat them as last year's bills. It's a total of $22,315.11, and we're asking to pay that out of free cash. And hopefully it'll be less bills next year now that we have someone in the accounting office.
Keeping up.
Actually have someone in the accounting office.
I hope so, because some of these are from 2023.
24,
There's
yeah.
one in the technology ones from 2023.
For $5,600, that's
I mean,
concerning.
Oh, the Munis one?
Tyler Technology?
Yeah, that's Munis.
Okay. I mean, sounds good.
Any discussion on Article 1?
Make a motion to pass on.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, on to Article 2.
Article 2 is an amendment to the Board of Health budget. It's a result of settling a grievance and agreeing that a position need to be reclassified. In prior years, there were 1.5 clerical people in the Board of Health. Now there's one, just one position, and we looked at the duties, et cetera, and both the selectmen and the union agreed it needed to be reclassified from senior clerk to principal clerk.
What happened to the planning board clerk? I see that was...
The board of selectmen refused, voted it out.
Is that that's the salary of that one position?
What?
The 136?
For the Board of Health.
No, that's the salary, that's the new line for the salaries for Board of Health.
Oh, okay, yep, all right.
Yeah,
The
no.
total amended amount.
Yeah, okay.
So the increase is $3,520.
Yes.
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
I would ask the Finance Committee to, while they're considering this and some of the future articles, just to pull out page 22. It shows you the various funding sources as we go along. Kind of a cheat sheet, so to speak.
Yeah, that's good, that's nice.
Jamie, so that planning board position, what happened with that? Because I know there was...
Right
there was an
now,
inherent need.
right now, the Board of Selectmen asked that the MOA that they negotiated with the union for the principal clerk in the building department fill in with some of the planning work. We also have hired a minutes clerk on a per minute, capital M, not small m, situation to do minutes for various committees. So the minutes, not only for that committee, but other ones like the ZBA, et cetera, can be done. But we've asked that the building department clerk take over those duties as far as the administrative duties for the planning board, to see if that works right now.
I guess I watched a meeting, they were gonna like revisit it if it didn't work, cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's in
Mark.
charge of planning? Yeah,
It's
he-
Mark.
He
Francois.
wasn't in favor of it, so.
Yeah, and if you remember, Kevin at the
Yes,
town
town
meeting
meeting.
said that, and Kevin and Bob said they really hadn't tried to implement it yet, and they wanted to see if it works.
Okay, so if it doesn't work, then...
You
then
guys
then-
can revisit it in the spring.
Well, yeah, because I think that's the right thing to do, because, you're, negotiating in good faith, and if you give somebody your word, you want to stick to it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll go back to that if things don't work out. Okay, on to Article number 3.
Article 3 is a capital article. First item is Council on Aging, asking to increase the previous capital expenditure authorized at the annual town meeting. It's been 9 months since we got prices for the 4 HVAC units. In that period of time, the prices have gone up. Part of it, I'm sure, is materials, and part of it is just the all prices for mechanical and control items are going, with controls are going up.
What was the delay for the 9 months? I mean, if this passes, is this gonna get executed?
We're all set to go.
Okay.
Town buildings to install and upgrade the fire alarm system in parting ways. The software and some of the hardware in it is so out of date, it's not going to be supported, and part of it can't be repaired. So we're looking for $7,000, not to exceed $7,000, to upgrade it. And that's a safety concern. Next item that the selectmen approved was to purchase 2 police cruisers. They're marked cars, not to exceed $170,000. And that, all of these items so far are out of free cash.
Didn't we approve
We
2
approved
cruisers
one.
at town meeting?
We approved 1.
All right, so this will bring it up to 3, obviously.
3, but we were 2 behind, if you remember. Actually, we were 1 behind at the annual meeting and 2 behind from the meeting before that.
Right.
So we are,
This catches us up.
we were 4 behind, now we're 1 behind.
Oh, okay. So we're in much better shape regardless.
Yeah. And the police department's done all the work to identify the best deal, and it would be something that is, in the view of the selectmen, necessary when you look at some of the vehicles so out of date. And it's not like they aren't constantly running.
Right. Mhm.
So that also adds to the wear and tear.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, next round of capital expenses, you'll get them current. DPW street sweeper, we originally asked for $275. It passed at the annual meeting at $270. The price was $274,000, so we're asking for the additional $4,000. And that brings the request from the selectmen for capital request to $190,000 out of free cash.
Make a motion to accept the articles written. Oh, sorry. Any discussion?
We don't have discussion yet. Anyone have any discussion on these items?
I do. Not to pick on the police cruisers, but that's basically all the capital in this. Just for me in general, I feel like maybe more explanation, either verbally from the department, like a department rep, or I guess with more documentation of exactly like where their fleet is at, in terms of like, you know, I know Mr. Kelly's saying they get it up to date, they haven't had the cars, and I understand that, but I would like to see, you know, the size of the fleet. We're replacing a vehicle that's 5 years old and has 120,000.
In the past, we've had the police chief here for the annual meetings, and that, he goes over, the chief goes over all that.
Yeah, it's just, you know, to approve 2 cruises and, again, I'm for it. It's just, I'd like to have more context of, are we replacing a car with 120,000 miles that's 5 years old, or a car that's, you know, 3 years old with 50,000 miles, and how much we spend on maintenance and things like that. That's just, speaking from my experience, kind of something.
I think they're over 5 years old, the ones we're replacing. They're 5 or over.
Yeah,
If I
I would just
remember
kind of like,
correctly.
I would like to hear it exactly, but, I mean, they scratched the unlocked car, and I know, just because I know who drives them, like, I know their unmarked fleet is like old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So I don't, like, I think they have a detective driving Mike Alf's SUV that he got when I was there, I want to say probably a dozen years ago. So I have no doubt that that's the case.
I think
If they're
one of
scratching the
them,
unmarked,
I think one of them's 2014.
yeah, I would say probably older than that, that SUV that the detective
I did,
drives.
I'll reach out to the police chief.
It's just in general, like even the street sweeper, like it's 275 grand. I know we voted on it last town meeting, but to hear more of an explanation, you know, from DPW exactly why it's, you know,
Well,
beyond repair.
The street sweeper that was beyond repair was not operational at all. It would go down the street and you'd see piles of stuff.
Yeah, I just think that should be like either documented or explained by somebody from the department.
But we've already bought the street sweeper. Right?
This is,
Yeah, I'm saying like at the last
Yeah.
meeting when we would.
this is the, under your charter, the budget is totally the selectmen's.
Yeah, this is advisory, right? But
No, but I mean the budget itself. Department heads do not
I want to.
technically.
No, yeah, but the department heads are the ones that know about their fleet, right? And so they're the ones who can explain why they need it.
Yeah.
Last, I mean, I would like to kind of see the quotes and the explanation to what they're buying, because 170, that's 85 grand a cruiser. I just paid invoices last week for 2 marked cruisers. They were 66 grand.
This is what's
So,
This
everything.
was fully done.
Yeah, all
outfitted.
new. Like this could have, I don't know, maybe they add computers. They
Yes,
probably Tahoes.
It's computers, everything. It's total package.
So, I know like Tahoes have gone up, from my understanding, what I hear, like $15,000, so that could be the reason, but it is a high number, I feel, for large cruisers. I'll take the word that, you know, they need them, and the fleet is depleted, especially since they scratched and unmarked, but, I think in
It-
general, not to pick on PD.
It includes all the computers, the radios, everything in that price.
I was in attendance at a recent Board of Selectmen meeting, not the most recent, but the one prior to that. And the police chief was there, and he had asked me to come by at some point to talk to him, because he had some things he wanted to discuss with me. I don't know if this was it. So in his defense, I have not had a chance to get over there and talk to him. But I will reach out to him to make sure that we get,
There's,
you know,
The police
explanation.
chief, that just,
Yeah,
the second acting, yeah.
Chief Copper,
Yeah.
Chief Copper.
there also, I think he probably wants to, I know he's talked to the board about staffing
Yeah, I
going
mean, and they're in the
forward.
midst of a transition here too, right? So it's,
Seems like the police department goes through that a lot.
right,
It's tough to get people on board, and it takes so long, you know, the requirements are so strict.
Well, also, I think after the last contract settled, I think they're in a better position, since they are a civil service department, but they're in a better position to poach other departments.
Instead of us getting poached.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but I agree. Well,
I'm just
you know, next
saying,
time
I
we
mean,
get,
it's police on this.
I had
meeting,
thought
in
the chief,
general.
when we did our spring meetings, I thought he had said that, because he had explained that he was switching vehicle manufacturers.
I can give you
When you
the
came.
documentation that they delivered to the selectmen.
well, because Tom was
Yeah.
acting.
Right, and at that
police
time, he was saying they would change, because I guess, because they were using Dodge, and Dodge isn't
Yeah,
using
prior-
it
Because
anymore.
he's gone to Tahoe.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
prior to that, when Chief Richmond was the chief, he'd provide us with a detailed explanation, updating, you know, the condition of the vehicles and what they needed and stuff, so I'm sure we'll get that going forward
Mhm.
from Chief Compo for the annual coming up, and I'll have that conversation with him anyway.
Actually,
Again, I'm not trying to make this about police specifically, I think in general, any type of big capital.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing that we're doing on this.
Right.
Is free cash capital expenses.
Mhm.
We should have like, you know, the people that have the explanation instead of, you know, the TA trying to explain it for them.
Yep.
Or they, even if it's in writing, this is the fleet, this is what we're replacing,
Mhm.
makes a lot more sense.
Did you have anything else to add, Jamie, or?
No, I was just looking, I know in the presentation that the board had, there was communication from the sergeant who did the research on it, but I think that's up in my, the book, the notebook that we had at the selectmen's meeting.
Okay. All right, so I think we had a motion on this, right?
Mhm.
So we had a motion,
Second.
there's a second,
I'll get you that.
we have a motion, second. Any further discussion? No, being no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, this motion passes unanimously. On to Article 4.
Article 4 is the fire chief's looking to take unexpended money that was originally for appropriated Article 10 of September 30th, 2024 for the Fire Station 3 to use in the outfitting of the new fire engine 2. So it would be no new money, it would just be taking it from money that hadn't been needed in the Fire Station 3 repairs and transferring it over to outfitting the new fire engine.
Where would that would just normally return to free cash, right?
No,
Mm-mm.
it's an article.
It's remainder of an article.
You'd have to dissolve the article at some future date, or it just remains in the article, and in the future it could be used if there was future repairs for Station 3.
Chief knows what's best, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I'd make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Article 5.
I'd like to take 5 and 6 together because
Okay.
they're paired.
Okay, so 5 and 6 together.
Article 5, we're rescinding the borrowing for the ambulance from the special town meeting, September 30th, 2024. And we are asking to fund the purchase of the ambulance. And we're asking for an amount not to exceed $475. The borrowing was authorized at $600,000, so $475,000 is what we're asking for. $275,000 out of free cash and $200,000 out of EMS revenues.
So the 600,000 was never borrowed, it was just
No.
an authorization to borrow.
We, to order the ambulance,
Yeah, but just a place.
we have
Yeah,
to
line.
approve the borrowing, and that gets us in the queue, and when it's delivered 2 years later,
This is for the first ambulance that's getting replaced, okay.
How much is out of the reserve? This is 275 here.
275 for free cash and 200,000 from the EMS revenue.
75 total.
All right, it says 275 on both on page 21, 22. Right.
That's a misprint.
Okay. So 275 free cash, 200.
EMS revenue.
Well, this is just, these are listed as additional funding sources besides free cash.
Yeah,
So
So
that-
saying that's 200.
yeah, you're right. It should,
Okay, so the free cash, all right, it's flip-flopped.
yep.
So it's 200 free cash and 275 EMS?
No, 275 free cash, 200 EMS.
Do we know when that's coming in yet? Did you know? You haven't said, okay. If not,
I'm just trying to get the money to pay for it. When it's delivered is, once it's delivered, I'm sure they've got to make sure of the outfitting of it.
Mhm.
And I know they're coming in the spring for some of the, what do you call it, stretcher. They're gonna need some money for the stretchers. And that's, I think, 100,000, let's say 100,000 each. But it's the ones that actually have all the devices to lift and everything.
Mhm.
So this one's not fully equipped with all that right now.
Well, I think they're keeping 2, but they have to replace 2 of the stretchers. That's what just the fire chief and I were talking about when I'm gonna, before I depart, put together a transition for whoever comes in.
Make a motion to accept Articles 5 and 6.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, but motion passes unanimously. Articles 5 and 6.
Article 7 is for 35,000, and that completes the radio repeater exercise we've been doing for almost the whole time I've been here.
Mhm. So I can actually speak to this, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
During our Apple Peach Festival, the EMA radio system was in, let's just say, non-operational to its fullest capacity. We had a lot of dropped calls, very staticky, and come to find out the radio system hasn't been replaced in probably a couple decades at this point. I mean, it's really, really old. So this is to replace the EMA dispatch radio system that we also share with our DPW department. So during the normal business operations of the DPW, they use the frequency to communicate back and forth with their staff. So, of course, I have to abstain from the vote, but I just want to explain what the replacement is.
Where is that
What's
site?
coming.
Where's that repeater?
It's up on the gas tanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up on Peckham Road.
All of them are,
Yeah,
aren't
the
they?
whole thing's up there. I thought EMA was actually on the fire tower, but
What
I
I've
could
been
be wrong.
told is nothing is on the fire tower anymore.
Yeah, I remember
You
previous.
can't go up on the fire
Yeah, I wouldn't,
tower.
I wouldn't go up there if I were you. But yeah, no, I remember prior discussions with the previous director that he mentioned that they were up there. I don't know if they still are and they just moved them over there, or at one point they were there.
I
So,
think that's the one owned by DCR, is it, the tower?
I believe so, yeah.
It's not, it's been judged not safe to go
Right.
up it.
Be a perfect location for a cell phone tower. Just saying. Just
So
saying.
35,000 from free cash.
Make a motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Abstain.
Anyone opposed?
One abstention.
Okay, one abstention.
Uh,
Motion passes with one abstention.
Article 8 is to approve the ASME collective bargaining agreement. It's even though there is no funding necessary for the first year, it's the town meeting has to approve it by confirming any previous appropriation and acknowledging that it's a 3-year collective bargaining agreement. It's 2%, 2%, and 2%, plus the top step gets an additional 0.5% in the last year, which is in line with a lot of the other collective bargaining agreements.
Is there a motion for Article 8?
Make a motion to approve Article 8 as written.
Second.
Okay, motion for second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. On to Article 9.
Article 9, this is an amount that, under advice of council, we are putting forward. We're in litigation concerning health insurance claims and excessive premiums and the runouts. It takes almost 2 years to get all the runouts and the stop-loss payments and rebates for prescriptions. We are moving out of MSHG and into an arrangement with Alliant. We are have counsel, and we've also had, because MSHG hasn't provided an audit in 2 years, or we are gone and hired CLA. It's not just Acushnet. There is a group of towns that were associated with MSHG that are all in this effort. And this is a maximum amount that the possible demand letter from the other side could be issued. We do not expect this money to be, all of this money to be spent. We do expect some of it will be, because like my discussion on GIC and Maya with their reserves, there's a number of problems in the health insurance industry now, and the premiums are have not been covering all of the claims. We've had one catastrophic claim in town that has, which was a organ transplant that has cost us considerable amount of money. But we also are looking at going forth to the court, telling them that, yes, we've appropriated this amount of money. This is our good faith amount of money. We don't expect the amount to be anywhere near this, but we are in our litigation versus the MSHG. We're saying we are in good faith putting this aside. You're to the court and keeping all our options open in not only going after them for the fact they haven't provided us with the audit. We want to make sure all of the prescription rebates that should have been ours are ours. We want to make sure the stop loss attached at the right points. And in the stop loss insurance is individual claims, and there's the group itself. So we have to also look at that. And as I said, it's a 2-year run out in getting all of it. And we're asking, similar to how we bought the ambulance, where we did borrowing that we didn't need to do, we're asking that this be appropriated so we can show a good faith effort to the court and at the same time challenge any figures that are being put forward, not only for claims and all our rebates and stop loss, but also for the fact we're reserving our rights to sue the Gallagher Insurance that was the administrator for not setting the rates right.
So, and I understand this, what you're saying is that this 625,000 is not going to be it's going to be a pay as we need it, we're only authorizing up to 600, and this can be used for legal fees for the town?
Yes, it's
As well
the
as
whole
payout?
litigation.
Do we have a reserve fund for this, or should we think about putting one in? Is this?
We have a health insurance stabilization fund. That would be my advice to this body and town meeting. That is for when you need your reserve to be replenished, like the GIC went to the legislature for that, if your reserve gets hit. This is so we can prosecute the litigation and actually go after what we think is our appropriate amount. We have a demand of 625 from the other side. We're saying it's very improper.
Oh, so that's where that number came from?
Oh.
Is this, okay. I was just kind of wondering.
It's actually, it's somewhere around 630 right now, but our lawyer said that's not even close. And so that's part of, you saw some of the legal bills from Attorney Lang. He's the one who's representing not only us, but a group of towns and school districts on this.
So is the litigation like class action with them, or is ours individual?
It's not a class action, but everybody is, it's individual because everybody has different type of, depending on which area they're in, well, they might have a different stop loss insurance carrier or a different administrator of their stop loss. That's the big problem with us trying to do it as a group. So we're individually doing it as a group.
Are we all putting in the same amount?
No,
Well, they're demanding money from us, so what what is, like, I guess, what is the 625,000 that
That's their
they're saying
demand.
for what exactly? Like, if we have a,
They're saying,
following.
they're saying that the expenses, as they're estimating it, far exceeded the premiums. We're saying, yeah, that's what you're saying, but we know we've got 18 months of rebates from the prescription companies that are coming in. They wanted to include, we told them we left as of June 30th. They wanted to include some costs coming in. We said, no, we'll pay those ourselves, so we decreased part of our liability. And then we still are dealing with the stop-loss carrier as far as, because the stop-loss carrier we're using for, and a number of the towns are using, was hired by MSHG. So MSHG says the stop-loss carrier has to pay them, and then we'll audit and give you what we think you, or decrease your liability appropriately. And we're saying, no, we want to deal with the stop-loss carrier directly.
I guess I got one more question, sorry. So when you're talking about, like, catastrophic cases, if, say you said an organ transplant, so I'll use your example. Say that cost $1 million, and then they only estimated that they were gonna spend town-wide 500 grand. They can demand that the town pay, basically, for the overage, like,
It would be the difference in, most groups like this have stop-loss insurance. And so it's the difference between the premium payments and where stop-loss attaches that you've got this expense. And let's say it's 150,000, but for that case, because it cost $1 million, but and the premiums, let's say the individual paid, are 50,000, and stop loss attaches at 200,000.
You pay the difference.
But, and I'm just using that as an example. The problem is, with stop loss and with the prescription rebates coming in, both so much further down the road, and most stop loss insurance will attach at a certain amount for an individual claim, and then for the group will attach at another point. So you can get so much for, let's say, that catastrophic here, and then when, oh, it's $10 million for the group, well, then the stop loss attaches again for another amount.
Is this for just one case, or is this as a deal?
Total.
So I'm just wondering now, is, whatever is, out of the 625, we use 300, the other 325, does that drop off after, let's say, 2027, fiscal 20, or does this article stay alive?
This article stays alive until you dissolve
All
it.
of it, so it's like the.
But we should know in 18 months or
Right, that's why I'm
sooner,
wondering, like, 2027
or sooner, if we go to
we
court and get a
if whatever's
judgment.
not used, we can kill
It's
this.
like-
I'm assuming that
Yes.
this is gonna stay kind of like on our credit report. Is this money that,
It's for, if you,
It's like the
best way to
transition thing
describe
that
it
you
is,
did.
right?
if you're in a lawsuit and you say, all right, I've got X amount of dollars, the lawsuit's for this, and I got X amount of dollars, I'm putting it in an envelope in a safety deposit box.
Right.
And if I gotta use it, I gotta use it, but if I don't, when the case is over, I get to empty the envelope.
Okay.
What
But there's
you
no
do-
actual money until we need it. This is just the approval to go after the money.
But this is to tell the court
That we have good
this,
faith.
and once the 2 audits are done and we know where we're going, and we also have to wait to get our auditor, at least, as well as their auditor, to agree what the future rebates for the prescriptions are going to be, and if any of the stop-loss payments are valid. Then when we get a final figure, the final figure would be paid out of this. You're going to be paying something.
Right.
The question is, what we don't want to happen is that we're paying for losses that really should go to other members of the group who stayed in the group.
Right. Thank you.
So, I mean, when we have the fall town meeting, what we'll need to reiterate probably to the town members is that we're more than likely not gonna utilize
All of it.
all of that money, basically.
And we get out of MSHG, we're in with Alliant, we've put a different safety valve together as far as the insurance as you and I talked about, the insurance we purchased, so that anything for a total claim for the year cannot go above the amount that we appropriated. And that cost us a pretty penny in the insurance market, but it's a better safety valve right now for what's going on in the health insurance, because next year we're looking at most, other than the retiree Medicare wraparound policies, we're looking at 20% increase for most. I'm not saying ours because we're in this different situation with Alliant, but you're looking at 20% with Maya and GIC, and 32% with Harvard Pilgrim.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I attended a healthcare forum yesterday for the MMA. And, you know, you had the head of Maya, GIC, a head of Blue Cross Blue Shield there. And, you know, the forecast for health insurance costs are just, it's not good. It's not sunshine and rainbows, I can tell you that. And they don't have any concrete solutions either. That's the problem.
The only solution they've had is the weight loss drugs. They're saying they're not covering them after a certain date.
Right.
And everybody's waiting to see what happens with Washington and whether we're going to be paying American prices for drugs or European prices, so to speak.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second it.
Second, any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'm gonna abstain. I really feel like for 33% of our free cash, I don't have a full understanding of it.
Okay, the motion passes with one abstention.
Number 10 really doesn't affect us.
Article 10 is amending Article 12 of the annual town meeting of 1962 as to the composition of the Conservation Commission, taking it from 7 members down to 5. The two major reasons are
Can't get
No one's
volunteers.
interested.
we've had 2 vacancies in the commission for an extended period of time.
We feel their pain.
Yeah.
And we've had quorum issues and everything else, and the board feels that it's reality being what it is, that it might be easier to have a 5-member commission.
Make a motion to accept it as written.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's an important commission, but
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in
You-
favor?
You see a lot
opposed?
of
Motion
towns
passes
are
unanimously.
going for planning board, conservation commission, etc., that used to be 7 members are going down to 5. You can't get the volunteers. Article 11. Provide a sum of money not to exceed $3,500,000 to design, engineer, construct, purchase, equip a golf course, clubhouse, and any associated legal expenses. And the board is proposing to fund it by expending $1,250,000 from the golf enterprise retained earnings, and then borrow $2,250,000 through bond anticipatory notes, bands.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
This, I was trying to watch some of the meetings on this. There's a lot of content.
Mhm.
The project is to move the clubhouse to the practice green, but there was other.
That's the conceptual plan presented.
So I guess what I'm getting at is are they planning on replacing with this money the practice green, or is that going to have to be a subsequent project?
This project here, what you've seen is the conceptual plans. This article authorizes at this point to actually to determine that and have the actual on-site engineering, the architectural designs, and everything done. What they've done up to this point is conceptual plans. If you saw, it was 4 phases. It was build the clubhouse, it was put together a building for the golf carts,
And
it was the parking lot, it was the
Right.
practice area.
I just hope we fund enough of this, in that's incorporated when they do it. Adding a practice area. I've never seen a golf course.
I would imagine.
Oh,
I would imagine.
I'm sure it will be. It's a question of the conceptual, for example, the conceptual plan. And the board has had discussions, if you watch the meeting. They have the building for the golf carts priced at $1.5 million. And Kevin Gasper brought up the fact that you could do a steel building with the slab for,
A couple $100,000.
yeah.
I saw that. Well, I was here for.
And that would be all that's necessary. And they said, yes, that's true, but this is the conceptual that the firm from Florida did for the golf course. So there are, and this way, you spend the $1.5 million $1,250,000 out of the retained funds, the enterprise fund funds, and then you go to bands, well, that way you have the flexibility to, once you've got the design and everything, you can go out to bid. You can even look at such options as prefab, where you don't have to pay prevailing wages, and a number of other things. But you've got to first get the engineering and the design done. And if you do bands, then for the $2.25 million, you can do it for under 10 years. A band can roll over year to year. So once your bond payments, which you've got one large year left on the golf course, expire, then you can use that money that you've been using to include to pay the bands down.
And, the golf course is gonna be paying for this, it's not coming out of taxation.
Right.
Exactly.
So, we gotta make sure we reiterate that to the town members at fall town meeting, that this is not gonna affect their tax bill in any way. I think that's probably one of the most important things to emphasize in this whole thing, because this is an important project. And the most important part of this project is probably the clubhouse, in my opinion, because if you don't have, I saw the
This is only for the clubhouse.
Right, but I saw the presentation, and if you don't have a big enough clubhouse, you're not gonna generate enough revenue between, food, alcohol, drinks, because you want people to want to go there who don't even necessarily like golf, right? And when golf season is not active, if it's a really good establishment and they have great food, good atmosphere to go watch games or whatever, people don't want to go there. Yeah.
You're not making the revenue that you could make right now from food and beverage,
Yes.
etc. But you're paying $300,000 plus in bond payments right now.
There's definitely a need.
So,
25 years overdue.
so this is a multi-year project, but you've got the revenue right now to carry this project through. Once that's done, you're going to have more revenue, or you should, from a clubhouse, because right now you're operating out of a double wide.
This could potentially be a season, like year-round kind of thing.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting to see though, I don't think the town wants to get in the business of, and I think this was talked about, what are they going to do? Are they going to lease it or what? Are they going to, is the town trying to run?
I've been in two towns that we've had facilities like this, and in both, originally the town tried to operate it themselves, and very quickly thereafter we went to putting it out to bid and bringing someone in to do the
Property
food and
manager.
Who's
beverage.
experience, because you gotta be experienced in that area, because if you're not, then that's gonna be a mistake.
And it was a serious revenue producer.
But now it's a year-round thing, right? That they do? Those towns that you were in?
One wasn't, but one was.
Yeah.
One was a 9-hole, and it was just for the snack bar, etc., while the course was open. But it still made a pretty good penny.
Even if this goes through, you're gonna have more revenue, true, but you're also gonna have more expenses. Because now you're gonna have to hire people, you're gonna have a chef, cook, waiters.
Unless you put it out.
Yeah, right. I'll make a motion.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
I'm sorry.
You kept talking.
Damn it, Eric.
No, I had a chance to play in 2 tournaments there this past summer, and they were big tournaments. And at when we were done, they were running out of food.
Trying to do it on one grill.
Condiments. It's like I'm just thinking of all the money that was being lost.
or they're catering it with someone else and they're making the
Right, because
profit.
it's a fantastic course. I mean, it's such a great course, and it has the reputation for that. But now to add this to that, it's a no-brainer.
The last couple times I went, it was catered by, I think, like Riccati's.
Yeah. So yeah.
And you're missing out, you know, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I recently went to an event, a seminar that was held at the old Scotland Links up in Bridgewater, and they had, the whole. I'd say there were 100 people there for the seminar, and they had it in the big room. But they had another room going on where people were playing golf, were still going in and getting lunch and everything else, and they had it all catered out of their kitchen, but it was, I complimented one of the servers, and they told us that they worked for a catering firm that did all the business there.
We just provide the facilities, you guys come in and do all the cooking.
Yeah, and the organization that I was going to the seminar, who was putting on the seminar, rented the space, but the golf club handled the food, but the rental was the whole thing. But they obviously had someone that worked for them as a providing it not only for the players but for all the events that were going, and they were marketing it. Because when you went in, the golf club gave you a brochure that said if you want for weddings, for confirmations, for professional events, business retreats, this is the place to come. And I think the same thing could be done with once you have a clubhouse. And you don't, you put an RFP out and you get someone come in to provide all the food and beverage services for the year.
Yeah, I mean, there's some local golf courses around here that have nice clubhouses. I don't know, have you ever played the back nine in Lakeville? They got to me, that's a nice clubhouse there. You got the bar centralized right in the middle of the dining area. It goes all the way around, so there's plenty of seating at the bar, and then you have the high tops, on the perimeter. It's pretty good. There was a pretty good space in there too. So I don't know, but I think that's probably the most important aspect of it. I know, with their conceptual design, they're talking about adding a large patio onto this. So that's great because you can put more tables and chairs out there too, for events in good weather.
We know that the big events right now at Acushnet Valley, you're getting about 150 people. So you have to look for accommodations for 150 people probably in the design. And the design, the conceptual design didn't have that.
Yeah.
So that's something that now the architect and the engineering / architectural design people are going to have to come up with.
Right. Okay. All right, so that was Article 11. Do we have a motion?
You made a motion.
You made a motion. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Article 12, funding of the school roof ban.
Yep. That is something we've been promising the board has been promising the town and this committee to do. We are asking for an amount of $242,352 from free cash and $52,648 from the special solar tax revenue fund to retire the now the borrowing for the school roof.
I think that's a no-brainer.
Mhm.
Make a motion.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Article 13.
Article 13, and it's not anything of a band payment. The title was my
Typo.
my Microsoft cut and paste mistake. It's funding the repairs to the elementary school roof and gymnasium closet, or gymnasium, the closet in the gymnasium. It's $150,000 free cash. It has been reported many times to many committees. The gymnasium area, closet area is leaking roof and walls.
And it
And
was definitely one of my sticking points when we were talking about the HVAC system.
and the issue also is that it's not the same roof as the roof they repaired. It's like a
Yeah, it's a separate,
secondary,
it was an
roof.
addition building, that's what that was.
but,
It was a
huh?
separate building. It was a separate add-on, I think.
But if you're going to start to look at solving these problems, you might as well at least, this is one that's right in front of you and we know it's there. And it's too bad that they didn't do the whole roof at the time, because we might have got, since you got some school building assistance money when you did the big roof, if you folded this in, you might have got a percentage of this paid for, but they didn't.
Yep.
Which I don't understand, but 150 in free cash is the estimate, and that's up to 150.
Yeah, this is definitely a must, in my opinion. And,
Absolutely.
you know, Mr. Kelly and I sat in on
Too many meetings.
a few meetings regarding this, most recently a legislative meeting with our two state reps and Senator Montigny to discuss the issues with our elementary school. And I think this is the first step on our part, showing that we're going to operate in good faith and we're going to get this project moving in the right direction to address this and get it going, because we can't leave it the way it is. We don't want that school, getting worse. We certainly can't afford to build a new school, so we need to fix this.
And you can't start to address the other problems until you get the pouring water in problem
Exactly.
done.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, I think this is the right place to start, and then continue the conversation with the other aspects of the project, and hopefully our reps and Senator Montigny can possibly come up with some extra money from the state. It's unlikely, but hey, you never know. It's always worth asking, and to keep trying when it comes to that.
Make a motion to approve Article 13.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Article 14, I'd ask that the committee report at town meeting. We're waiting for wording from our financial consultant on this. This is a technicality an article dealing with technicality as far as how we reported our water revenue to DOR and put it in our revenue figures. And I have to defer to Todd Hassett, who's our financial guru with DOR on it, and he asked that this be held, and he's working on the wording with DOR now.
I make a motion to table
And take up
and take up at town meeting.
a report,
A report on
a report at town meeting.
Okay, we
So
have a
there will
motion.
be a meeting before the meeting, obviously, to resolve this.
Or you could,
On town.
depending on what it is, you could just report at town meeting, or we might pass over it, depending on when they agree on the wording.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion and second to report right at town meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion passed unanimously.
Article 15. As you know, the CPA was accepted by the town, and it was accepted at a 1.5%. Correct?
Yes, too.
Yes.
And, but you could have done a lot more. You accepted at 1.5%. And
I
it's,
think you can go up to 3, correct?
yes,
Right.
and it's based on the value of the tax bill and the value of your house, ultimately. And since all of the values have gone up lately, the estimate we've been keeping the CPC funds at turned out to be $60,000 lower than actual. Now, part of the CPC is you have to assign a certain amount of the money you collect to different categories. And that's what you see as the breakdown. Well, we have been assigning for a number of years $26,000 in historical resources reserve, community housing, open space, and we've been doing $13,000 for the administrative costs, well, which were within the guidelines for the percentages we were supposed to assign. Well, when we did the percentages now of the new amount, we need to do the new amounts in red,
Based on current valuations.
based on what we're collecting.
Mhm.
And that, you see that we were estimating 176,000 in the past, and now it's up to 240,000. So when you have the 240,000 estimate and actual, you've got to change the others to reflect that amount. And so this is just changing the article that we passed in the spring to reflect what reality is.
Yeah, this is not,
It's not costing,
No, this is not gonna significantly change anyone's property tax bill.
well, the board is actually considering in the spring changing the amount of the percentage, which would put it then back to the lower amount dollar amounts that you see here, and that would, if Old Colony passes, et cetera, that might give the taxpayers a little relief in the bottom line.
Right, it's essentially a 1.5% surcharge tax on your property tax bill. So it's not, I mean, we all get our quarterly estimates and we can see the little breakdown where it says CPA and the percentage. It's not a big number. But yeah, you're right, to your point, if Old Colony does pass, that's gonna be,
You might want to go down 25 basis points or 50 basis points on it. The farthest you can go down is the 50 basis points.
So the lowest we can go is 1% or 0.5%?
1%.
I mean, there are, and, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are some towns in the Commonwealth
That
that
have
don't have
3%.
that don't have a CPA,
Right.
right? They don't even participate.
Right.
So
And
the residents aren't getting a surcharge from that perspective.
you see a lot of the very small towns out west or in the northwest, like the towns 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 population that do not have.
Well, hopefully it
A
doesn't get that
CPC
grim
at
that we
all.
have to do that, you know?
Well, this has been valuable for the town because it's helped with historical buildings. It's really helped with open space. You've got a large undesignated balance that if you wanted to buy property for conservation purposes or that, you can do it. If you need to upgrade playgrounds to comply with the ADA, which is going to be coming down the pike shortly to most communities, you're going to have to do that, and you could pay for it out of here.
Oh, I think it's a great function, and we all recognize it during the Apple Beach Festival because we have a lot of the historic buildings being utilized during the Apple Beach Festival. So it's nice to see the history in Acushnet, and you know, it's nice to have people like Pauline Texera from our historical commission who keeps volunteering her time. God bless her. I mean, because she's such a sweet lady, but she has so much on her plate at this stage in her life. She actually needs more people to help her to volunteer for historical commission.
We, yes, they need people to volunteer, but we sent a crew out this summer of the kids, the YES workers, and they did a number of interior paintings for Pauline on the historical buildings, which meant the YES program paid for the kids, and the historical paid for the paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, I don't know how many people had a chance to attend the Apple Beach, but again, it was, yeah, you worked it. It was, I mean, other than the rain during the parade, it was a great weekend, great success again. Kudos to Tom Fortin, who, you know, organizes it, and again to Pauline, who works tirelessly for our town.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
$16.
Yep.
16, to see if the town will transfer from the PEG Access and Cable Reserve Funds amount not to exceed $49,000 to purchase and equip a utility van with a mounted aerial lift capability for the Acushnet CATV department. Not only will that help with what the various things the department needs, it will also, the department could have used it and will in the future on the fiber network. We could have used it instead of having to go out and rent something to install some of it.
Is this a used van?
That's the thing, what do you get? 49 grand.
49,000.
That's a lot to you, but.
Yeah, it's used. And it's, comes out of the CAT Reserve Fund, which presently has $996,505 in it.
They don't want to know it. And they don't.
That was, I think they've found one they've picked out that's already got
And that's gonna cover the cost to equip it too?
the aerial lift.
They want some money for repairs.
Where do you get that kind of money? Why don't you just buy new?
Yeah.
They got that kind of money, why don't you just buy a new one?
No, I know, it's
You know,
$1 million.
They're looking at that one.
A van with a bucket, the equipment,
Do they have an existing van or no?
No.
They've never had one?
No.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, 'cause I didn't think so.
that's what they're requesting.
that's what they requested.
Okay,
Make a motion.
we have a motion.
And that's, it doesn't cost the taxpayers. It costs the
I'll second it, but
cable
Does
viewers.
not come out of taxation. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Oh, sorry. All in favor? Anyone opposed?
Article 17, I asked that the committee report at town meeting. This involves a couple paper streets, and we have, that are surrounded by property owners on all sides, one property owner on all sides. And the town is looking for a way to abandon the paper street, but we still have to do the legal work, and if KP finishes by town meeting, then we'd be presenting it, but if they don't, because they gotta do the meets and bounds, and it has to be an agreement with the individual that surrounds the street, that the land was either taken from or cut off of 50 years ago or whenever the paper street was created.
I make a motion to table until town meeting, report on.
And at some point, it's probably gonna come up, but there's a lot of legal work that needs to be done in doing this, mainly because the town's position should be that the legal work is done by the property owner, and then the town's lawyer agrees that that legal work is right, rather than us having to do all the legal work and spend all the money first.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of Article 17?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Well, we tabled it,
We
right?
tabled it, motion to table.
Vote to report at town meeting.
Yeah.
Correct, okay. All right, we're gonna take up 3 sets of minutes that Kathy prepared for us. The first date is from April 24th, 2025. In attendance was myself, Phil, Eric Chu, Kristen Flynn, and Lisa.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second. Motion, second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, those minutes are passed. Next set of minutes is from the meeting of May 12th, 2025. In attendance was myself, Sue Delgado, Phil Adams, Pete Benoit, Eric Chu, Kristen Flynn, Eric McGlynn, and Lisa Tomlinson.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those minutes are passed. Pull up the last set. Okay, the last set of minutes is from the meeting of May 22nd, 2025. In attendance was Phil Adams, Pete Benoit, Eric Chu, Kristen Flynn, Eric McGlynn, Mr. St. Jean, and Lisa Tomlinson. I was absent.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain since I was absent. Okay, anyone have any old business to discuss? Any new business? Under new business, has everyone received the letter from the town regarding utilities from
Yes.
Constellation, the aggregate?
Yep.
So you notice that the rates are coming down,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is a good thing.
Yep.
The only thing,
That's
the
just
only- the only-
supply though, right?
right, that's only the supply rates. The only problem is,
Mhm.
you know, how much are we gonna get whacked on the delivery charges through Eversource? You know, because they're probably gonna increase the delivery, so it's gonna probably offset and more than likely be a wash.
Hopefully, when we can get it, but-
No, but at least they decreased the rates, so I thought that was promising. And it was, I think it was through 2028, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been dealing with them for a little while. And we were involved in the bidding, the staff here was involved in the bidding with the folks from Constellation when we went out into the marketplace. I've been dealing with them in 4 towns now and over the past number of years. And they're in my view, the most knowledgeable in how to manipulate the market for the consumer.
That's a good thing.
Are we going to need a meeting the 8th?
I don't believe so.
If you have a meeting
There's nothing to
before
address
town
with the two
meeting,
articles we're gonna take up at town meeting, right?
yeah, but I'm not sure those 2 articles, I'm gonna
I'm
put
gonna
them,
make it,
I'm gonna put placeholders in, but I'm not sure they're gonna make it, so I would say report at town meeting, like the motion said, it's the best and you don't need another meeting.
Yeah,
right?
so we won't even need to meet prior to the town meeting like we have
Okay.
in the past. So I think Kathy, will be good as far as not having to post any meetings between now and October 27th.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?